Hey again. We're back with another episode of the EBM podcast.
Hey everybody.
I'm Chris.
I'm Natasha.
And so today we're going to kind of, first we're going to kind of give you just an update on like what we're doing with our daily lives.
There's been a lot.
And then we're going to go into our topic. And then after our topic, we're going to go into some questions, viewer questions. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We asked questions on Instagram.
Yes.
Do you have your phone?
Yes, I do have my phone right in my pocket.
I have no idea where mine is. So. Mm-hmm. And we have some new friends. Say hello to our cacti.
Yeah. Well, this one was in the last video. So.
Oh, yeah. But I got this on. And he was kind of hiding.
Yeah.
But I like him.
Mm-hmm.
We love cacti.
Yeah. So...
Updates.
Yeah, what's been going on in your life? Well,
I've been sick for the past 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. The last podcast episode, remember I was like sneezing and my nose was running? Mm-hmm. Well, I was sick for a week and then I finally went to the doctor and I was diagnosed with strep throat. So I'm still recovering from that. Antibiotics are finished. Mm-hmm. But then yesterday you took me to a dentist appointment.
No, not the dentist, the oral surgeon.
The oral surgeon. So if my face looks swollen, it is. I had I don't even know what to call it. It was, I have an implant that started because I was born with a baby tooth that had no tooth underneath. Mm-hmm. So it fell out and there was no tooth underneath. So they're giving me a fake tooth. So that's the process we're going through here. So it kind of hurts to talk a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a weird foreign object in my mouth.
There's a screw in your mouth.
A screw. Yeah. Like a piece of metal. You can see it.
Yeah, you can see it. It's just like in there.
And it's over here. And it hurts. And it's been hard to eat a little bit. I took 2 Tylenol today. Mm-hmm. And I've been icing. I literally have an ice pack right there.
Yeah.
And my face is cold. So so that's been my update. I've just been scuffed.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks now. But I'm on break this week. We have winter break at school.
Yeah.
So I'm not teaching. Mm-hmm. But I do have church this week.
Yes.
So hopefully I'm feeling better by tomorrow. Man, once that numbing wore off yesterday, my whole mouth was numb. My bottom lip was numb. What was it like seeing me? How did I look? He picked me up. He was there.
Well, I was there. I picked her up at her house and we went. And it took a lot less. I thought it was
easy.
Yeah, I thought it was going to take like a couple hours and I was going to be waiting. I walked across the street to Dunkin' Donuts.
He was like giving himself a tour of his surroundings.
Yeah, but
it was fast.
Yeah, but it was pretty fast. And then, she ended up, maybe within like an hour they were done and they just like sent her out the door and they were like, okay, peace out.
10:30. We got there at 9:30. Mm-hmm. They didn't see me till 9:45-ish.
Yeah, so the procedure took less than
I think it took longer to like numb me than it took.
Oh, I'm sure.
For the actual procedure.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not feel a thing. They gave me laughing gas with this little thing on my nose. Yeah. And so they put that little thing over my nose and he told me to take like deep breaths. I've never had laughing gas before. I've never been put under.
Yeah.
Like nothing. But man, that laughing gas was great. Oh. I loved it. I was like, he's like literally cutting my mouth open. And I'm like, this feels great. I don't feel a thing.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
He was laughing at me because I was just like, I feel awesome right now.
Yeah.
So the dentist was a wonderful experience.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, so now it's just getting used to something foreign,
Yeah.
It's really strange. I can't wait for them to put an actual tooth on there because right now I literally just have a piece of metal.
Yeah,
like a little screw thing poking out. And it's very strange and I don't like how it feels. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah.
So I think that's been all that's been up with me.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be off this week. Mm. That's why I did this week.
Yeah.
So yeah. And thanks for taking me yesterday.
Yeah, no problem.
He's the best. What about you? What's been new this week? These past 2 weeks, I mean.
Nothing crazy on my end. Just living life. Just the normal day-to-day things. Work, life, family.
Oh, I missed a big thing.
What did you miss?
Saturday.
What's Saturday?
What happened to me on Saturday?
Oh, yeah. We had a little...
I'm in a mess.
Yeah, we had a little scare with
y'all need to like send like prayers and good vibes and just all the things. Whatever you do, just send it this way because I went to the hospital on Saturday. I'm fine. Mm-hmm. I just have asthma. It was triggered by the fact that I was sick, and we're gonna blame Urban Outfitters.
Yeah, so the story...
Urban Outfitters, if you're out there.
So the story goes is that, so we were at our local mall doing some shopping on, it was on Valentine's Day. And... Because
we got paid.
Yeah.
We went to spend our money.
Yeah, so we went... we went to the mall, and we went into Urban Outfitters, just to look around and stuff. And for some reason, at the checkout, they had, like, these scented candles burning in, like, these big glass things with, like...
It was so many candles, like, lined up on the thing.
There were, like, these big fixtures that they just had on the counter. And, they...
I was choking.
They were like,
"Are you
strong.
okay? Are you okay?" And I was like... dying, coughing. And then we went to see a movie afterwards, and I was, like, still choking... dying.
Yes.
And my chest was getting really tight. And I didn't realize that it was... I mean, I should have realized, but I didn't realize that I was getting an asthma attack. Mm-hmm. And that asthma attack went on all through the next day.
Yeah.
And then I was finally like...
I said go to the hospital.
My parents picked me up, and I went to the hospital, and I now have a nebulizer at home.
Yeah, which you probably should have got last year.
Yeah, because I had a big hospitalization in May. Yeah, because of asthma.
Yeah.
And it always gets triggered when I'm sick. Mm-hmm. Because I think my immune system is really down, and it just hits me. Because that's what happened. I had a bad infection and a cold and all that, and my asthma was triggered.
Yeah, it happens, but...
Between strep throat, being sick, going to the hospital, dental surgery, that's been my week.
Oh, yeah. By the way, the new Sonic movie, really good.
Oh, we saw that.
Give it a thumbs up. I would probably give it about, like...
It was good. It was very good.
In terms of just a regular movie, I would probably give it about, like, a 7.5 out of 10, I think would be a fair score, I would say. And as a video game adaptation of a movie, I would probably give it, like, an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Because
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it was
I
really
was entertained
good.
The whole time. For a person that's, like, I know about Sonic. I played Sonic, but I'm not, like, a huge fan or whatever. But, like, as, like, a normal person just seeing the movie, it was really good. Jim Carrey was hilarious. Yeah, he was so funny.
I think it's just a good, like, even if you're not familiar, like, what, like, Sonic the Hedgehog is, like, you don't need to be. It's just, like, a good family, like, fiction, action-packed, like, with comedy, like, kind of film that, like, anybody you could take your kids to go see and stuff. Yeah, so it was really good. It was good for a Valentine's Day kind of thing.
The last popcorn I'll probably have for a while.
Yeah.
It was fun. We had a good day for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, well, except the fact that you started not feeling well.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Always something.
Yeah, but, it is what it is.
But we had such a nice day.
Yeah, we had a nice day.
We had a nice day at the mall. We got lots of nice stuff. We had a great dinner.
Yeah.
An amazing dinner.
So we go to this local Korean place, and it's like, it's not... There's a lot of Korean places in our area, because there's a big population of Korean people in our...
There's huge barbecue places. There's barbecue place we go to.
Yeah.
It's really big. But this is like a small place.
This is a small place, and they have...
It's kind of like street foodish, almost.
Yeah, I would say it's
more casual Korean.
It's more of a fusion, I would say, rather than... Yeah, because it's not traditional. But they have Korean tacos.
Yeah.
They have, like, different kinds of ramen and stuff like that. So it's not just strictly, like,
the
Korean barbecue.
Not huge, but they do have options. You can get bibimbap.
Yeah.
What else? They have appetizers.
Yeah.
They have those, like, sliders too.
Yeah, they have sliders. They have tacos. They have, like, big hot plates and stuff like that.
He got a big ramen. I got a Korean... Was it wonton soup?
It was like a dumpling soup, but it had like a bone broth.
Yeah, that was so good.
Yeah, that did look good.
Especially because I wasn't feeling well.
My ramen actually had, like, which I never had in my life, it had a little bit of, like, melted cheese in it. Not a lot, just a little bit.
It had melted cheese.
And it had a spicy, like, reddish, like, kind of broth. And, yeah, it was really good.
Shout out to Kinyobi.
Yeah, Kinyobi.
In Hackensack, New Jersey.
Yeah. definitely.
You guys are amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Those tacos. And we told her, so there's 2 tacos that they have. They have the what's it called? The bone...
so they have
short rib,
and then they have the bulgogi.
Spicy. No, it's spicy pork.
I thought they were bulgogi.
Spicy pork tacos.
Oh.
Yeah.
So no, yeah, but I thought there was a bulgogi.
Spicy pork.
No, it was just no, because the bulgogi is the beef, and then they had was it short rib or was it?
I don't think they have bulgogi tacos.
I thought
it was spicy pork tacos.
I don't know. I'll have to check the menu.
Or maybe I'm confusing it with the sliders, but whatever.
Yeah.
It was a spicy whatever.
Mm.
And we said we wanted to share because there's 2 tacos in order, and she like switched them for us before she even brought it to the table.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Well,
that was so nice.
They kind of know us in there because we've been going there for a while.
We love it there.
And their page follows us on Instagram on our personal.
They liked
accounts.
my post.
Yeah. So they're pretty cool people. Nice little local business. Good food.
Support your local businesses, people.
Yeah. So
these are the people that have the legit stuff, you know?
Yeah, for
really
sure.
Good stuff. They're amazing.
Yeah, they are pretty cool.
And then we went to see the movie.
Yeah.
And that was really good.
Yeah, so we had a good day.
It was a nice day.
Yeah, so now...
Happy Valentine's Day,
Yeah,
peeps.
happy Valentine's Day. So we're going to switch topics now. And we're going to we're going to switch gears and go to our topic of the day. So
it's a heavy one, I think.
Yeah, I mean, heavier because last time the topic was just to introduce ourselves, especially to people that are not familiar with us.
Yeah.
And, you know, to kind of lay down a foundation of our interests, our likes, and whatever.
Who are we? What do we do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's going to be, like, a lot of the basis of what we talk about anyway.
Sure.
It's going to revolve around what we know, right? And what we do.
So we are going to we're going to talk about something that I think is a pretty relevant topic for the 2 of us, because I think we both, either way, have
and maybe it's relevant for some of you know? And that's what we hope.
Yeah.
You know? That maybe anybody who watches this just feels us.
Yeah.
You know? That you get what we're talking about, you know? Because it's hard to find people.
Oh, yeah.
That understand this.
For
and
sure.
that's introduce the topic.
Yeah. So our topic is basically just about kind of like fitting in society, how it's kind of affected both of us and what we do with our own personal lives.
It's hard to become yourself when yourself is just so different.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because, you know, you're talking, you know, or you're looking at 2 people that I would say are very outside of the mold of
our age group.
Well, to just society in general. I wouldn't say that. I would say even more so, even beyond our age group and even behind us too and everything. I think that you know, we're very unique. Yeah.
And, you know, that doesn't mean that other people aren't unique. Everybody is unique.
Sure.
But we just want to tell our unique experience and story.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically...
Do you want to start? Because you have probably a lot to say on the topic.
Sure. So basically, you know, being into the things that I was into growing up...
what were you into growing up?
Well, I mean, a lot of what I was into growing up is basically what I'm into now.
Yeah, you haven't changed.
I really haven't changed.
No.
I mean, obviously...
You've just matured.
I've matured. I've grown.
A lot, yeah.
I've, you know, obviously I've found different things and everything, but I was always interested. I mean, even from a small kid before I was ever a musician, I was always interested in music because it was a part of my life. It was in my family.
Because you started playing... guitar at a young age, but then you were always surrounded by music.
Yeah, but I mean, even before that, because I didn't start playing guitar until I was like 11 or 12.
Oh.
And, you know, so I'm even talking pre, you know, so, but I was playing video games by the time I was like 5 years old. And, you know, that's something that I still do.
Games.
Yeah, video games. You know, and that's something that I still do. I mean, obviously not as often as I was when I was a kid and even a teenager because of, you know, real life work, you know, and stuff. You know, I'm still able to, you know, every once in a while, like throughout the week, you know, maybe an hour here, an hour there. You know, back when I was in high school, you know, I played a lot of video games when I was in high school. Yeah, I played.
Well, you know, the stuff that we're into is sometimes used to help us kind of get away from reality too. You know, like video games helped you get through hard times.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was your like escape.
Well,
too. That's why you played so much during those times.
Sure, because
it helped you cope.
Yeah, because I was never one to be generally accepted by, I was never like the popular person or anything like that.
You had no clique.
Yeah, I didn't have any clique. And like a lot of the friends that I did have at that time were, they weren't doing really the best things. There was a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol and stuff. And that was stuff that I really never got into.
Nothing to do with
I mean, now, I'll have a drink here and there. But like I never was a big drinker, and I mean when I was a little bit younger I had a little bit more, but I mean now it's just, now that I'm like approaching
it's not cool.
Well, yeah,
unless you're like celebrating something,
Well, yeah, but I think also too, but if you are in your late 20s pushing 30 like we are, it kind of gets old, the whole, and I think that a lot of the problem, I know a lot of my problem is that I was always just more mature than the people I was surrounded with. And I think it still goes, for today. And that's why I was always friends more. I was able to relate to people like, 20 years old. Yeah, older than me. Yes. And that's how she was too.
Always. Yeah.
And because in grammar school, I only had like really like one really close friend. I mean, unfortunately, I'm not even really like on like, not that I'm not like cool with him, but we don't really hang out anymore.
Yeah.
We kind of went in different directions, and, and then like I have one best friend who, who I've had since I've been a little kid. And, fortunately we've been able to grow in our relationship as friends, but that's like the one, the one true friend that's kind of stuck it out with me all these years. And yeah, I do have, acquaintances that I've gotten.
Friends through friends.
Yeah, like I've gotten to meet some people through Natasha now and stuff. Yeah. And as we said in the last podcast that we're both really involved with church because that's our jobs. We both work for the Catholic Church, so
my choir.
Yeah, so
they're my best friends.
Yeah, so she has people.
Some of them are in their 80s.
Yeah.
I love them, man.
Yeah, they're good people.
They know my life.
Yeah.
Like, do I have? I mean, yeah, we have a couple friends our age.
Oh yeah, we do.
It's I think what makes us want to talk about this topic though is that because of our careers and because of our lifestyle choices, it is hard to always see friends our age, Well, because first of all, a lot of our jobs we work weekends. Yeah. So like when, generally like my like kind of like my days off. I mean, my schedule changes week to week. I never know
have
what's gonna
consistent.
Happen. Yeah.
And,
mine, same.
And basically, like, what would be the equivalent to, like, my, like, day, the, like, chill day is Monday. And that's when everybody is, like, going to work. So it's a different...
And if you ask me to go out on a Saturday night...
Yeah, that's,
I'll go, but, like, I have to wake up Sunday at 6 a.m.
Yeah, so you can't.
And you, too. You wake up at 6 too.
No, I don't wake up at 6. I wake up at 7.
Okay,
but still,
that's early.
That's early for a Sunday morning.
It's like asking somebody to go out like Monday night, and they have like a normal day job. You don't want to do it, but that's our days. And this past Sunday, I worked 7 a.m. to I got home at like 8:30 p.m.
Yeah.
I was working all day, all day long.
Yeah,
like. I need to go to sleep Saturday night.
So really, like, our night to do stuff, we do, like, Fridays are usually pretty light days.
Our Mondays and Tuesdays are when we do, like, what normal people would do on the weekends.
Yeah,
like our groceries, our laundry.
Yeah.
And we'll go out.
Errands. Shopping, like I mean, just, like, regular.
One of my best friends, Charles, I'm going to say his name. Hi, Charles. we used to go out Mondays when we were younger because we've always been church musicians, like since we're like 20, you know. So he was the only one that was really on my schedule, and it was like great because we hung out Monday nights. We would go to this bar in downtown Jersey City, and we would go out for Martini Mondays. And we got $5 martinis. Yeah. But this was like when we were like 23, 24, 25, you know. Now it's like...
You just don't want to do
Well,
anything.
now I'm working 7 days a week, so I can't even...
Yeah, so
I haven't...
Natasha's really
I don't
busy.
remember the last time I had a drink, to be honest.
Yeah.
Probably maybe Holly's birthday.
Yeah.
January, beginning of January.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the last time I had a drink.
Yeah.
I never drink.
Yeah.
Like, also because of singing and stuff. And the fact that I've been sick the past 2 weeks, antibiotics.
Well, I mean, you're like every like few months there's always some kind of thing going on.
Well, now it was because of the germs, the children.
Yeah, sure. So. Yeah, so you know, like
it's hard.
Yeah, I never really, you know, and even now, I still don't really feel like I'm totally like I don't feel like I have a home like as like in like. I still feel like I don't totally have somewhere where, like, I fit in. And, I mean, it's getting better, and I've gotten better, and now, like, especially because, you know, I'm a lot older now that, like, I've just learned to accept it. Because I had such a hard time when I was younger, you know, just, like, accepting the fact that, like, oh, wow, like, I'm different, I don't fit in, you know, and stuff. And it used to really, like, tear at me and bother me. And, like, you know, things like...
You're like, why? What's
things
wrong
that
with
normal
me?
people take for granted, you know, like, even things like, say, like, dating. Like, you know, dating for me was never really an easy thing, you know?
He was amazed when I liked him.
Yeah, so...
But you liked me. Yeah. And you never did anything because you were scared.
Yes.
Right. Like, and I told him, I was like, why?
You know, but that's just, you know.
Because of that insecurity from his whole life of always feeling that way, you know?
Yeah. So, like, I mean, and it's gotten better over the last few years and everything.
Oh, you've gotten so much better.
Yeah. But
I've seen so much growth in him coming out of his shell and kind of being like, you know, I'm going to be me and forget about it. Like, I don't care what you think. Yeah. You know?
Well, but again, though, when you reach a certain age, you kind of just have to be like,
you have to accept it.
Yeah, you just have to accept it.
Because this is you.
On. Yeah.
This is me. Dee-dee-dee-dee. Greatest Showman.
Oh,
sorry.
I never seen that.
I'm doing it with 4th grade.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry, 4th grade. Hope you're excited. They're going to watch this, you know.
Yeah, I know you told me that. Apparently she has students.
Shout out to my students.
Be careful.
Oh, what'd I do?
You like just scraped into this.
Oh my goodness.
And made like a noise.
That was the noise? I thought it was out there.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Never mind. Anyway, yeah, so, you know, so this is something that, it relates to both of us. I think that...
In different ways.
Because I think you definitely had a better high school experience than I did.
I think high school, I had my clique. I was with the choir people. I had a couple friends. They were definitely like the weird ones outside of everyone, but my school overall was just so friendly. Everybody was nice to everybody. We all loved each other. I had a great experience. But then after high school, it was really hard for me. Like when I went to college, I lost like all my friends from high school, didn't reconnect with them. I felt so lost in the world, being away from home. Yeah. It was too much for me. Mm-hmm. And I went through like a really dark period of not fitting in with everyone and only fitting in with like rebellious bad kids, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just...
Yeah.
I felt so alone during that time in my life, you know? Yeah. I didn't like who I was. And basically after that whole period, after 2 years of college and then transferring, realizing that I was in a bad place. Yeah. Getting help and just coming back and like starting all over again. Getting to know myself. And getting to figure out who I was and what I wanted. And that was really hard, you know? And now I'm here. So
basically, like with me, like I didn't have like a terrible high school experience, but I went to an all boys Catholic school. She went to an all girls Catholic school, and the school was basically, it was either you were into athletics or you were into theater. And I kind of was like somewhere mashed up in between because I was never an athlete like that. I was a martial artist for many years, but like I was never really into like football, baseball. Not that I don't respect those things, and not that I don't mind sitting down.
Right, but you're not gonna go hang out with the football players at school.
And I mean, like some people that like I ended up actually being in class more with those people, like what you would call, like, I guess, the jocks or whatever. I mean, I kind of think that that's a bit of a juvenile kind of terminology, but a lot of my classmates that I was actually in class with, a lot of them were involved. Most of them were football players.
Yeah. So
and I mean, it's not that they didn't like me, but I think they didn't understand, because like I was a musician. I was like this, like, I was a guitar player, and I had a talent, and I did play well, but it wasn't something that like, I feel that your school nurtured music more than mine. Like, we had the jazz band, I was in it, but it wasn't like, there was a, like...
I think just because I played piano, I've always been sought after for things.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I think it even depends what instrument you play. You know what I mean? Like, piano, they have a piano. It's available. You know, play it.
I mean, but like when I was there, I was like the standout, especially my junior and senior year. I was like the standout musician of the jazz band, but like barely anybody in the school even knew that. They were like, oh, we have a jazz band? Like, no one barely ever, like, they didn't know.
I was in the jazz band too.
Yeah, it wasn't nurtured enough. And I mean, that's how I ended up pursuing jazz studies in college, and I studied a lot of jazz in college.
I think there's that persona of Christian just perfectly fits what you would call like a jazz person. You are introverted, and I think that's what makes us a little different.
Yeah, a lot of the people that I know that are jazz musicians are definitely very introverted.
He's introverted, but once you come out of your shell, like, he's the most talkative person I know, but you have to get to know Christian. Yeah. That's what I've learned about you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you're not going to just come out of your shell to anybody, because there's
especially
that trust.
People my own age, though. Right. It's not like I can get into a conversation like with like adults, like I mean, we're adults, but I mean older adults, much easier. Like, like I can go like the few times that I've been to your work, like when like on Friday you would bring me into lunch with all the staff, and I can talk to them easily, because it's more of a comfortable. Well, first of all, because it's a church, and a church has always been a very comfortable situation for me, and stuff, and and also that they are older than we are, but like it's a lot harder for me to sit at a table with people in like their late 20s and early 30s and talk to them.
I feel you. It's a different vibe.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I've gotten better at it for sure, but it's something that is not easy for me to,
For me, I just always rely on, like, for me, breaking the ice in any scenario is just always easy, because I just say something stupid. Like, that's because that's how I am, and that's how my dad is. You know what I mean? Like, I've learned from my dad to just like not care what anyone thinks about me, which I mean, I have not mastered that by any means at all, because it's not even what other people think of me, it's sometimes what I think of myself.
Oh, sure.
That is hard, because I'm hard on myself. But my dad has always taught me how to be funny and ridiculous, and people gravitate towards that, right? Like, they're like, oh, she's like the funny one, let's go talk to her, 'cause I'm very like crazy. But there are many times, and you know this very well, where I am introverted.
Yeah, you can be.
And that's kind of my way of dealing with situations, is pretending to be extroverted, that's how I deal with social situations.
Sure.
But really, I'm very shy, and I'm very self-conscious, But I don't show that to people.
Like you definitely, and people do definitely gravitate to you more than they do to me, for sure. Because the people that know me the best, they have a very high opinion of me, because they know me. They know the kind of person I am. They know that I am not just like, because a lot of people think that sometimes, oh, like, I'm like very like quiet and I don't want to like really
But
have
that's
anything
because
to
you
do.
don't like, you're not like here, you know?
Yeah, and I mean,
I'm kind of like, here, this is me, take it.
I was also, I was raised in a very like, my family is like especially my mom's family. They have like, they're pretty like, they do like know a lot of people, but they're very like, they're like a
tight.
bit like, they're very tight, and it's very hard to get into like the inner circle of them. They're like, they're like, I guess you could say the old saying, like thick as thieves, like that kind of thing.
There's a lot of them too.
Yes, and there's a lot of them. So like, and it's always kind of been this like internal thing. So when I was raised growing up, I was kind of in that, and everything. So
anytime you had interactions outside of that, it was very different.
Yeah, because it was isolated, and also because of how, and then especially when I got older and that, like, and I realized like all the different kinds of people that are out there and everything and stuff, and being isolated one way, and then kind of having to learn about other people's experiences, other ways they were raised, different political affiliations, different
it's testy.
Different religious beliefs, and everything, because I came from an Italian Catholic family, and and the good thing is that because I've always been a fast learner, especially when it comes to things like different like social topics and stuff like that, and I'm
very knowledgeable.
Yeah, so like
you're like the smartest person I know.
So I was able to kind of like eventually like hear out people, learn, and to just understand like the world around me, and I feel like that kind of
knowledge is power.
Yeah, and the pinnacle of that is like when I was like in college level, especially my last couple of years after I graduated from community college and went to state school and everything.
You've learned a lot.
Yeah, I've learned
just out in the real world kind of thing.
Yeah, and I mean, you really have to be that way. You really have to kind of you okay?
Hit my watch.
And I think that you should I believe that like now like I definitely am very comfortable in my own convictions and my own beliefs. Yeah. And I would never be swayed either way into something that I don't believe is right. But, you also learn that you need to accept other people's convictions and their beliefs, even if they're not what you're about. And
always,
and it's an important thing, and even if you don't agree with an opinion of somebody on any topic, whether it would be religious,
they're still human.
Social,
they're still human.
They're still human,
and you have to treat every human with every ounce of respect that you can, because that is the best thing you can do.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is also, I think also what kind of because of how our society is gotten now, especially with like these last few like I would say like since probably like the mid 2000s, the political climate has changed a lot, and it's divided a lot of people and stuff. It was like when I was a kid in the 90s, you didn't really hear openly so much about like a lot of the issues that are being raised now, like, and stuff like that. Like, like it's like a topic, like say like racism or something like that. I learned in school when I was a kid that like that ended in like the 60s, and like everyone was just cool,
but
and
it's still happening.
But it's still happening. Yeah. So it's like, and I feel that
people also, are mean.
People are mean.
People are mean. People are judgmental.
Yeah. But I also,
it's really awful.
It is, but I think that what do we blame for that though? Think about it for a minute. What's caused all of this insurrection and craziness?
I don't know.
Social media. We didn't have social media when I was a kid. I'm the last generation. Yeah, even though like we're like millennials and stuff like that.
Right. It's like social media gives people a platform for either really good things or really awful.
But I still like as a kid, I think that we were on the tail end of that last generation that like grew up, like, we weren't in front of a computer screen. Like, I didn't start doing that stuff until I was, like, 13, 14 years old. Like, yeah, like, my mom was always, like, was in business, so she always had a computer in the house, but she just used it for work. I didn't start, like, going online like that until, like,
Same. Now these kids have, like, Chromebooks in 4th grade.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, I see, like, little babies with, like, like,
tablets,
2-year-olds and 3-year-olds with, like, smart
I didn't get a
devices.
cell phone till my sweet 16.
Mm-hmm.
Can you believe that? Now there's, like, 8-year-olds, 7-year-olds with cell phones.
Yeah, I think I was maybe about, like, 12 or 13 when I got my first one, but back then, even, too, it was so primitive compared to now.
16.
Yeah, I know. But
you know how many, it was, like, embarrassing for me. You know what I mean?
But
like, that's another thing to talk about, like, social acceptance and all that. All my friends had a cell phone. I was, like, the only one. My parents did not want to give me a cell phone.
But the thing that...
Thanks, Dad. I know you're watching this. But I thank you for that.
But yeah, but I was going to say, wait a minute. Because now I kind of, like... when you're younger, you always kind of, like, question... what, like, when your parents don't let you do this or that and you don't understand it, but then when you get to our age, you can really start to appreciate and stuff like that. And, like, now thinking back on it, like, I kind of wish that I was more that I understood more, because now I feel like that, like, honestly, like, I feel like, sometimes I feel like that social media, like, I wish it wasn't as much of a thing. I mean, this platform I think is great, like YouTube, because people can actually create things and share their ideas when they do it for the right reasons. And there's a lot of great content out there. I mean, how many great channels are there?
There is.
Like, we've talked about this.
But then there's always negativity and the speculation and... But
it's not as bad. Like, Twitter's a total cesspool. I know you're not really on Twitter, but I hate Twitter. But
because I deleted it.
Yeah,
because I think it's stupid.
And Facebook is also very toxic, especially if you're from from New Jersey and you're on Facebook, you think that it's toxic. Like anywhere else in the world, and you come to New Jersey, you see, like, especially, like, in this area, like in the greater New York City area, it's so toxic. The groups, the people. I mean, I'm sure it's everywhere, but I think it's kind of, like, magnetized here because we have that reputation for our very strong personalities and stuff like that. I mean, both me and Natasha are definitely outside the norms of, like, we're not Jersey. We're
not people that are, like, pushing our beliefs and opinions on other people. No. And a lot of people here do that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even, like, it's not even just opinions and beliefs. It's pushing your emotions and your problems on other people.
Yeah.
Like, this was a while ago, but I was cut off by someone. Like, the lanes were merging. I was driving, and this lady is cutting me off. And I'm just like, I was having a really bad day, by the way. That was important, right? But I guess so was she, because she was when I just looked at her and I was like, what are you doing? Like, you need to let me go because, scissor effect, right? Zipper effect, like 1, 1, 1, 1, right? Yeah. She, like, didn't care. She was blaring her horn at me.
Yeah.
And she was just, like, she was throwing up, like, fingers and arms and honking, laying it on the horn. And she was screaming. I remember looking at her and just seeing this lady just screaming. And I couldn't hear a thing because I was in my car and her windows were up. So why are you screaming? It's just the fact of, like, pushing your negativity on other people.
But I also think that
what kind of stuff is
this area, like, I feel that, like, you and me personally would probably thrive better in, like, other areas of the country better, because the problem is that
people are nice.
This area of the country, people are very high strung.
Yeah.
The priority for people is, like, if you're a person that, like, really has, like, their stuff together, you realize that, what you do, especially as a career, it shouldn't dictate how your life and how you treat people. People in this area, because they prioritize things like money's first.
Yeah.
Like, they have no
career, getting something fast and getting it now.
Yeah. And that makes for a very toxic environment around
negative.
Here. And it's very negative.
Good things take time. Yeah. Like, look at the beauty around you. The people don't appreciate anything nowadays.
Sure.
And It's like, oh, you have this like 20-minute drive from like work to, and like just complain about the traffic and all that stuff, but like, there's so many more beautiful and important things that people could be thinking about.
Oh, yeah,
and
totally.
Nobody cares about that stuff anymore.
Oh, no. I mean, sometimes, like lately, especially as I gotten older, I, even just like sometimes, like, like when the weather's nice and I take a walk around my neighborhood or in one of my local parks, and I just like think like, I can just stay here forever and experience this because it's so nice, and like I wish that
peaceful.
Like
peace. There's no peace.
And I know that people like people especially in this area, they bash on people that are from more like rural areas and things like that, and saying that they're like they're not educated and they don't know anything. But you know what though, those people, they live a simpler kind of life, and they know the beauty of just like waking up and going outside
and like breathing in the fresh air.
Yeah, totally.
Ugh, I wish we could have that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to one of my favorite places in the world is New Mexico. I've been there. I
want to go so bad.
And Santa Fe is a really nice area, and I had a lot of good experiences. I was out there for like a week and a half. I mean, this is going back about like 9 years ago now, but I still, because the trip had such an impact on me in a lot of different ways, it was probably the best vacation I was ever on.
Yeah.
And, I've been to a lot of places, but it was, especially here in the United States, it was definitely, because it was just a different kind of environment. It was, the people are very, more like laid back, they're kind. It's like going to the South too. Like, I mean, I'm not really that keen on the Southern style living. I definitely do like a little bit more of an urban feel, and I think but the people are very nice. Like, I've been to Texas, and I mean, Texas is also a place that's very big, and it's also very diverse. And there's a lot.
I haven't traveled much within the United States.
Yeah, like we're kind of opposite. She's been a lot like to Europe and outside the country because she has family from Spain and stuff. I've been to some places outside of the country, but
Spain is so nice.
But I've been a lot around the United States, so it's particularly around.
So he's got to take me to New Mexico, and I got to take him to Spain.
Yeah. And there's actually kind of a cross connect with that.
Yeah. Big Spanish influence. Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's why I really want to go.
Yeah. It's really cool.
And maybe the air will be healthier for me because
it's dry out there.
The allergies here are tearing me apart.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been getting allergy shots for like, 6-7 months now?
No, I don't think it's that. No, I don't think it's been that long. I thought you only started You started after the summer, I thought. I thought you started maybe like in September or October. I thought
it feels longer.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's like once a week, so. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe it was September.
Yeah, so, so like a lot of these things are kind of in relation to, kind of like just like our perception and I think that
very different,
especially for people that are watching that have experienced these same things or are going through these same things now, it's definitely
tell us about them.
Yeah,
comment. We want to know your experience.
Sure. They could definitely comment. Tell us about your experience.
Did you fit in? Do you ever feel like you didn't fit in? Do you like the craziness of the Northeast? Is that something that makes you happy, or are you looking for peace?
But I mean that's kind of like, even because there's obviously going to be a lot more people than just the Northeast watching this. I mean, so people can't really relate to that, but people can definitely, if they live in this area, they can, the greater New York area. But for different people in general that have like kind of struggled with the whole like fitting in, or they feel like they don't fit in, or even if they feel like something is kind of like their job is consumed them, and they like,
I feel like that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. What we do is also, well, first of all, we work, it's personal. And we also, let's face it, we work for a very, how should I word it? We work for a very controversial organization.
I was going to say testy.
Yeah. No, not testy, but controversial, because in light of the things that have gone on within within the Catholic Church, it does raise a lot of issues and a lot of things, and
a lot of judgments.
Yeah, a lot of judgments, and people, you got the people saying a lot like, why do you like work for the church? Why do you do this and stuff? And basically,
because the church is bigger than just a bunch of priests.
Well, yeah, that I mean, that's true too. I mean, it's about community, but it's also just making a difference in the community and kind of just trying to lead people down the right path. Because of how society is, like what we're talking about, like with this like kind of like money first and that's all that matters, and like this like kind of very like external.
People get very lost in that.
Yeah, they get lost in that, and this is like kind of a way of kind of helping people to find focus, perspective on things that matter.
Changes your perspective a lot.
Yeah, even outside of even like the religious aspects of it, just having an idea of community.
True.
And also
being part of something.
Having a place where you can have support.
A safe place.
Like
even like people going through stuff.
Yeah.
I've known a lot of people that are maybe going through a bad time.
Sure.
And the church helps them. Even just having friends. I have so many friends through church. All my friends, well, not all of them, but 98% of them are through church.
Yeah.
And they are the best people I've ever met.
Yeah, and and it's rewarding when you get to your job. You see people come up to you, or you hear that you're making a difference somehow. Maybe just from a conversation you had with somebody, or by something that you did and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And and it's meaningful. And I think that
it's the best. It's it's like for teachers too.
Yeah, and I would say that, like, the best
the two most rewarding jobs in the world.
Yeah.
That's great.
I would say that, the most, the thing that can really help anybody that's kind of has felt this way is kind of to try to involve yourself in doing something that is going to promote more positivity in the world instead of that like stress. Constant stress or negativity.
Yeah.
I would recommend
this is the perfect job.
Yeah. For us, And I would recommend that I think that as far as like, getting yourself involved in like petty arguments about things like even like social issues and political things, I mean, I think that it's very counterproductive, and it also brings your personal problems out more, and like we should really be trying to work more
on ourselves, not on changing other people.
Yes.
Look inward.
Yeah.
Look inward. If you have a problem or some kind of negative something, or even if you just have a problem with something somebody said, look at yourself and ask why. And what kind of benefit are you going to get from addressing it in a negative manner? Yeah. There's no benefit to that.
But I think people also have to realize that, the world and how interrelationship and people, it's a lot bigger than things that have been brought to our attention these days. And I mean, and this is something that I don't really particularly even like to talk about. I don't have any political interest at all.
I don't care.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
Yeah. And I mean, I know a lot of people are like, oh,
I'm just trying to live.
You should care and this and that. But you know what? Yeah. I mean, especially when you're people like us that are kind of like, our allegiance is kind of elsewhere. It's not within, because when you work in our situation, society, we're kind of separate from the rest of society.
Church and state.
Yeah.
Church, state.
So we're kind of on that side. We're not really. So our allegiances and what we believe are something that's outside of the norm and outside of society. And actually, I kind of now appreciate it more than ever because, like, I go on Facebook or I go on Twitter and I see people complaining about, the president and this and that. And I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter for me because I'm a part of something else. And, that I don't really have to like worry about it, because the only way I would have to worry about it is if anything were to ever happen in the future that would kind of put our church into jeopardy, then that would be a different story. But other than that,
I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, I really like at this stage
cool.
of the game, I'm not really like
I just never cared.
No. And I think that people should start looking at more inward, like you said, to themselves, and kind of just worrying more about the general people around them, because the way that if you make an impact on the general circle around you, then it's kind of like a domino effect, and it kind of spreads.
Just mental health is so important,
Yeah.
Like, focus on your happiness and focus on your family, focus on your friends. And be happy in that. Be happy that you're alive.
Yeah.
Be happy that you have a roof over your head. It's just like things that people take
and
for
help
granted.
People that don't have those resources.
Right.
Help the poor. Help, help. I think it's something, that's something that we're involved in a lot because, again, we work for the church. So we are able to, we do a lot of outreach to the poor. But, it's just as simple as sometimes just
asking a friend if they're okay.
Yeah.
Like, look out for your friends. You never know what people are going through.
Yeah, definitely.
And like I feel like I'm like the biggest advocate for that ever, is like take care of others' mental health.
Yeah. I agree. But you can't help other people unless you have your perspective, your head on straight.
Yes.
And are able to do that, because if you don't have your head on straight, you might only do harm to that person.
Or you might be just deflecting your issues.
Yes.
And that's the worst too. Deflecting your problems onto other people. And that happens a lot. People avoid their own issues and deflect them onto other people, thinking that they're doing something good when they're really not.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, that's definitely something. So, so definitely, I think it's a topic that was worth sharing with you.
We clearly have a lot of thoughts.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to be too long-winded.
And I hope they were.
And stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I hope we got our points across.
Yeah.
I hope it made sense, and I hope everybody really listens to this.
Yeah.
This is not a video you skip around. This is a video you watch straight from the beginning all the way through, because it was very chronological.
Yeah, sure.
And there was definitely a train of thought in this.
Yeah. So, switching gears now.
Oh, we have questions.
Yes, we have questions from our viewers, so I'm just going to kind of take out my phone really quick, and I had screenshotted...
I might have asked 2 of these questions.
Yeah,
you were good.
Okay. So let's start off with the questions that you submitted into the thing. So the first one is, and this is for anybody that, might be wondering how we're doing this kind of thing. This is so what equipment are you using for the podcast? And this is a very, very minimalist setup. So we have
we were very complicated at the beginning, but
we're into technology, but not to that extent that we were like, we kind of overshot at first, and then we kind of had to downgrade what we were doing. But it actually worked out. So
it's much easier.
So this is a Blue Yeti microphone. This is a USB microphone, and this is the first time I've always dealt with XLR, being a musician and stuff like that, but it's actually a pretty impressive microphone.
And we actually have 2.
Yes, we do. We have another one over there.
Another one.
So yeah, we have a blue one, and then we have the cool gray one.
Yeah.
But we kind of thought with the setup,
and we have the little stand. We also have the option of having these stands.
Yes, but unfortunately, you cannot use more than one. You can't use more than one USB microphone
with what we're
doing. But it's okay because there's only 2 of us.
Maybe we'll need a.
Maybe in the future we'll see.
But we do have these stands and the little things. And tell them about the.
So we have the Logitech Brio 4K camera. So we're filming in 4K quality.
Check it out if you have 4K.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to... there's obviously no way of showing them this right now, but I could put a link in the description if there's maybe an Amazon link, for
link
this.
Link down below. We'll link the Yeti
we'll link
package.
our equipment just so people are, but all it is a Mac.
It's just on a camera stand.
Yeah, just on a tripod. So we have a tripod with the Logitech Brio 4K camera, the Yeti, and this is going right into my MacBook. So very minimalist.
And we're filming on
QuickTime, which is like, so it's very easy, basic, and, it's nice because it reads the camera, it reads
more equipment, this cactus. And this one.
Yeah. Well,
Where'd you get her? This is from Target.
No, that's from like Walmart, and this is from Home Depot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We didn't get anything at Target? Remember we were eyeing all those plants? Oh, we didn't end up getting it.
No. Yeah.
Target has nice...
Target does have nice stuff.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, so that's the equipment. So now you also...
What about your headphones?
Well, these are just Audio-Technica. These I had prior to doing this. I also, last video, I had my AKGs on. But these were better because these are for...
Weren't those mine?
Yes, you gave these to me, yes.
I found them.
You found them.
In my house.
In our house, yeah.
God knows who had them.
Because I have AKGs. This video, I'm using the Audio-Technica. So, your next question, what is your favorite anime? Of course, you have to bring anime into this.
Should I go first or you?
You can go first.
I love Sailor Moon.
Yeah, so Natasha likes Sailor Moon. Mine, I mean, I guess it's kind of hard.
If you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one, I guess, I would probably say my all-time favorite, because, like, with everything with the, like, content and the story and everything would be One Piece.
Okay.
You know, another anime I really like is also Lupin the Third. Also, yeah. So that, yeah. So I would probably say kind of between those two.
I love Sailor Moon.
Yeah. So now another question: how many pool balls can you fit in your mouth? I don't think I can fit in any.
Maybe one, but like, yeah. No.
No, I don't think that. I think our
maybe one. Who's that, Jimmy?
Yeah.
One Jimmy.
Yeah.
Maybe one.
So now somebody else asked, why is the guitar the best instrument ever? So I think you would disagree with that because you're a pianist.
No, I would say the guitar is the best instrument. Why is the...
Why is the guitar the best instrument ever?
It would be the best instrument ever because Christian plays it. But it's not the best instrument ever.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's kind of hard because I generally don't... I think the guitar is a great instrument. It is the instrument of my choice, and I think that it definitely is one of the greatest instruments ever. Would I say it's the greatest instrument? No. I think it's the greatest instrument for people. It's easy to pick up for a lot of people. That
I guess it's portable.
It is portable.
It's an accompaniment instrument that's portable.
And it has a lot of different voices, especially with all the tech, especially if you're an electric guitar player. Yeah. But I would say...
I would be jealous of it because of the portability.
Yeah.
Like, carrying around a keyboard sucks.
But I would say, though, especially coming from a music background, like I went to college for music. The greatest instrument ever is, in my opinion, would be the piano, because that is where most music is written from. It's
just grand, man.
It is grand.
It's huge, and it has such a wonderful sound.
And there's a lot of different voices too, depending on how.
Every piano is different.
Yeah, so
no piano is the same.
And I just and I mean, especially coming from being in a background. Yeah, from going to college and learning more about the keyboard and music theory and stuff, it's definitely the best instrument to kind of understand the fundamentals of music, for sure. I mean, the guitar you can, and I did learn a lot of theory just by playing guitar.
My mom always said the piano is the most complete instrument.
Yeah.
And it is. You learn the most music theory.
Sure.
Like, I always suggest to people when they have little kids and they're like, what instrument should I? I'm like, play the piano.
Yeah, and I honestly...
You learn everything about music.
I wish that I was more proficient on the piano, but I
wish I could play the guitar.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that I'm a pretty accomplished guitarist, and I have a lot of experience and stuff, and and I wouldn't change it, but I do think that I really do love the piano as well. All right, so we have a few more. So we have.
So read the first one.
Well, there's only one more because this was a spam question.
Oh.
Yeah. So we have one more question, and it is, why are you guys so cute? Well, I would probably say Natasha's the cute one.
Shut up. He's so cute. Good genetics, I guess.
Yeah.
Thanks, Holly. We love you.
Yeah, kind of.
Love you, Holly.
Yeah.
You're so cute, too. Shout out to little Mason. He's the cutest.
Yeah. Should definitely shout out to Mason. Yeah.
Our boy.
Yeah.
Our boy.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, so that basically wraps up our video for today, our podcast.
Week 2 down.
This is our second episode. I think we're kind of getting better.
We're getting used to it.
We're getting used to it. I mean, it's a little awkward, like looking at a camera for an hour.
I keep looking at myself.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because we have our computer here.
Sorry.
Filming. Yeah.
And sometimes I'll look at the computer and you'll be looking at the camera and I feel like I'm talking to you.
Yeah, right. But, yeah, but
we're gonna try to get used to looking at you guys and not ourselves.
Yeah,
it's because we're just so cute.
Yeah. So that definitely today that concludes our episode. So definitely,
make sure you comment down below, subscribe to our channel,
and also Instagram and Twitter will also be linked down below,
as well as our equipment.
Yeah, so we'll link the camera and the microphone. So. All right, everybody. So until the next one, we're gonna
peace out, Cub Scouts.
Yep. See you on the flip side.